In this lesson, we're going to continue looking at area. We're going to be finding area of shaded regions. To find the area of a shaded region, you follow 3 simple steps. First, you find the area of the entire region. Then, find the area of the unshaded part. Once you have those 2 areas, you're going to subtract the area of the unshaded from the entire region. So let's take a look at some examples. And as we look at these examples, make sure we're using 3.14 for pi instead of the pi symbol. When you take a look at number 1, we're going to start by setting up our workspace as soon as we see shaded and unshaded. So what our workspace is going to look like is on one side, we're going to have the entire shape, which is a parallelogram for this example. And on the other side, our unshaded is a rectangle. So an unshaded rectangle. So it's always the entire shape and then the unshaded shape. It just depends on what those shapes are. Now the entire shape is a parallelogram, and we know to find the area of a parallelogram, it is length times height. And then for our rectangle, area is length times width. So when we look at the entire shape, our length and height are going to be 12 times 8. And then you can do 12 times 8 by hand, or you can put that in a calculator. 12 times 8 equals 96. Then we're going to focus just on the unshaded rectangle. The unshaded rectangle has a length and width of 9 and 3.5. So we're going to multiply 9 times 3.5. And again, you can do that by hand, or you can put it in the calculator. And we get an area of 31.5. Once I have these 2 areas, I'm then going to take the 2 areas and subtract them. So 96, the area of the entire shape, minus 31.5, the area of the unshaded. Again, typing this into our calculator, and we get 64.5. And our unit of measure is inches squared, since we're working with area. I'll take a look at number 2. Again, we want to set up our workspace. We want to take a look at the entire shape. And if we look at that entire shape, what you see is we have 2 parallel lines, which help us make a trapezoid. So our entire shape is going to be a trapezoid. And then our unshaded, if I take a look at the unshaded part, we have a triangle. And I know to find the area of a trapezoid, I know that formula is 1/2 base 1 plus base 2 times your height. And I know to find the area of a triangle, that's 1/2 base times height. So let's focus on the trapezoid first. So 1/2 times, so remember your bases are going to be your 2 parallel lines. So the 22 and the 17. So 1/2 times 17 plus 22. Times your height. Remember, your height's going to go straight up and down, which is 14. So that's area equals 1/2 times 17 plus 22 is 39 times 14. And then I can put all that in my calculator. I know 14 times 1/2 is 7, and then 7 times 39 is going to be 273 when I put that in my calculator. Now let's focus just on that triangle. So looking here at this triangle. So to find the area, we do 1/2 times your base times your height. So remember, your base and your height, they come together to make that right angle, because sometimes it's tricky to remember which is which. So the two sides that come together to form that angle are 8 and 15. So our base and height are going to be 8 and 15. And I know 1/2 times 8 is 4. And 4 times 15 is going to give me 60. So then I can take these two areas that I found, 273 and 60, and I can subtract them. So 273 minus 60. And you can do that by hand, or you can put it in your calculator. When you type it into your calculator, you get 213. And we're talking about meters, and we're still talking about area, so it's meters squared. Go ahead and highlight number 3, and let's look at number 4. On number 4, we're working with a triangle and a circle. So we still want to do the same format. So we want to find the area of the entire shape. This whole shape is a triangle. And then we want to find the area of the unshaded, which is a circle. And we know to find the area of a triangle, that formula is 1/2 base times height. And we know to find the area of a circle, that is pi r squared. So let's take a look at our triangle first. So area equals 1/2. And again, when we're looking at that base and height, we're looking at those two sides that come together to form our right angle. So those two sides would be 21 and 34. So we're going to be multiplying 1/2 times 21 times 34. And you can type that into your calculator, 1/2 times 21 times 34. And you get 357. Then taking a look at your area of your circle, so we have 3.14 times your radius. So you remember your radius only goes halfway, so that's 7 squared. So that's 3.14 times 7 squared is 49. So you are going to want to put this in your calculator. You can do it by hand, but remember, we won't make as many small mistakes if we use our calculator. And we get 153.86. And now that we have the area of the two, we can take both of them and subtract them. So 357 minus 153.86. And after we type that in our calculator, we get 203.14, and our unit is yards, and area means it's going to be yards squared. On the next page, if you will highlight 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9, and remember on 6, you have a semicircle, so remember that's just going to be your circle, area of your circle divided by 2.